Welcome to Workday Benefits Open Enrollment. In this session, we'll discuss how to manage open enrollments. Open enrollment usually occurs once a year. It's the time when employees can change their benefit elections. When your benefits administrators initiate open enrollment, they select the benefit groups to include in the event and the type of open enrollment event that they're initiating. They'll also select an open until date, which indicates how long the event is open for employees to make their elections. Finally, they'll select the event date, or rather, when the elections go into effect. The benefits administrator launches or initiates the open enrollment process. Then, employees eligible for the process are responsible for making and submitting enrollment elections within the allotted time. This also tends to be a busy time for benefits partners. Many employees have questions or may need assistance with their elections. Benefits partners can offer support and even enter elections on behalf of their employees. Benefits partners can also manage the process using the Open Enrollment Status Report. This report helps monitor the progress and identify who starts their open enrollment, who submits their elections, and who has opened the task but hasn't made any elections. Workday easily manages adding and removing employees from the open enrollment process as different circumstances occur. For example, let's say we launch open enrollment in November, but we have new hires in December. Or suppose that we process employee terminations during this timeframe. The Coordination of Events feature supports these changes and adds or removes employees from the process. The benefits administrator is ultimately responsible for closing the open enrollment and finalizing the process. They can run and use the Open Enrollment Status Report to monitor the employees' enrollment statuses before finalizing the overall event. Let's review a more granular example of the open enrollment process flow. First, the benefits administrator initiates open enrollment. In this case, the process includes all active employees earning a salary in the US. This initiation triggers a change benefit task that routes to each eligible employee's My Tasks. The task remains in their My Tasks section until they submit or an administrator advances the process. You can configure the system to send reminder emails by select statuses. After the employee submits their elections, the Change Open Enrollment task routes to the benefits partner to review and approve. In situations where employees don't submit their elections on time, the defaults that your administrators configure on the enrollment event rule will apply. At the end of the open enrollment period, benefits administrators will close the event. Closing open enrollment ensures that the tasks are no longer in the employee's My Tasks section and that any final changes occur through the benefits partner's support. When your company is ready to send the data out to the benefits vendors and providers, the last step in the process is to finalize open enrollment. Next, let's discuss coordination of events in relation to open enrollment. Consider a real-world example. During open enrollment, employees typically make their benefit elections in October, and their elections go into effect on the first day of the following year. Suppose that an employee who is expecting a new child makes a benefit election in October that will take effect in January. However, the employee submits a birth adoption benefit event in December because their new child was born on December 10th. Since the birth adoption event elections would only apply until the end of the year, the baby would only be eligible for benefits from December 10th to December 31st and would drop off from the employee's benefits in January. To prevent this issue, the Coordination of Events features in Workday will reprocess open enrollment after the birth event. When the open enrollment task reopens, it includes the new baby on the employee's elections and ensures that they continue to receive benefits effective January 1st. Recall that closing open enrollment doesn't complete the process. Closing removes the task from the employee's My Tasks section. After events close, Workday still allows benefits partners to edit any information as necessary. Any edits apply to the benefits elections before the information is sent to providers. The last step is for administrators to finalize the open enrollment event, which will send the data out to benefits providers and vendors. The time frame between closing and finalizing enables benefits partners to support last-minute election changes. Once you finalize, any additional changes are corrections rather than edits. Corrections require the providers to edit employee elections after they already received the initial information. If you need to make corrections to an employee's benefits elections, you may face complications with your vendors due to duplications. Now let's review how to support the open enrollment process. Meet Maria Cardoza. Maria is a benefits partner. An employee has asked Maria for help correcting their benefits. Signed in as Maria, Kai will demonstrate how to navigate to the Open Enrollment Status Report, locate the event, and correct the worker's benefits.
First, I'll navigate to the Open Enrollment Status Report. From this report, I can view if there's any current active open enrollment events. There aren't, so I'll select the Display All Open Enrollment Events button. From this report page, I can review all completed events. The report also displays the number of events finalized with or without changes in canceled and rescinded events. I need to drill into the active employees in U.S. hourly benefit group that has events finalized with no changes. An employee has asked for help with correcting their benefits. I'll select the View Details button. In the Employee Enrollment Count section on the right, I'll select the Finalized with No Changes number to display a list of employees. Gina Brown displays in this list. I'll select the Correct Benefits button on Gina's row. I'll take a moment to read the important message. I'll select Continue. Then, I'll select Correct Benefits. I'll leave the defaults, then select Continue twice. I'll manage Gina's vision coverage. Then select Confirm and Continue. Gina needs to add her dependent to the plan, so I'll select the checkbox for David Tramp. The coverage target updates to EE +1 dependent. I'll select Save to return to the enrollment screen. Now, I'll select Review and Sign. Accept the correction. Then submit to complete the benefits correction.
In this session, we've reviewed how open enrollment works and how the benefits partner can support the open enrollment process in Workday Benefits. Thank you for taking the time to learn with Workday.